We're all making contracts all the time without even realizing it. And today, we're going to solve a little legal puzzle that pops up every single time you go shopping. It all kicks off with one super simple question. So, texture this. You're in a store, you see a TV you like, and you ask the price. Seems totally normal, right? Just an everyday question. But in the eyes of the law, you've just done something very, very specific, something that has a precise legal name. So what are you actually doing, legally speaking, when you ask that? It's not just small talk. You've officially taken a step in what could become a legal transaction. The real question is, which step is it? Okay, to crack this little legal mystery, we need to line up the usual suspects. In contract law, there are really four main possibilities for what this question could be. Our job is to investigate and figure out which one fits. And here they are, our four contenders. When you ask the price, are you making an offer to buy it, or are you accepting an offer the store has already made? Maybe it's this weird-sounding thing called an invitation to treat, or is it just a plain old request for information? Let's dig in. All right, first things first. We have to clear up probably the most common point of confusion when it comes to contracts, the difference between an offer and something called an invitation to treat. They might sound kind of similar, but legally, they are worlds apart. An offer, you see, is like a loaded weapon, legally speaking. It's a very definite promise to be bound by certain terms. If the other person just says yes to it, bam, you've got a legally binding contract. It shows you are serious and ready to make a deal right then and there. Now, on the flip side, you have an invitation to treat. This is way less intense. It's not an offer itself, but more like an invitation for other people to come and make offers to you. Think of a shop window display. The shop's basically saying, hey, we're open for business. Come on in and make us an offer. So here's the absolute key difference. An offer is the finish line. If it gets accepted, you've got a deal. An invitation, though, that's just the starting gun. It just opens the door for negotiations to begin. It really all boils down to intent. Are you ready to be legally locked in, or are you just testing the waters? Okay, now that we know the crucial difference between an offer and an invitation, we can get back to our customer staring at that TV. With this new evidence, we can finally solve the puzzle. What was he really doing? Let's take a look at our final possibility, a request for information. And honestly, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're just asking for facts, for data. There's no legal intention behind it at all. It's just an inquiry. And there you have it. That's the answer. When the customer asks how much for that television, they are simply and legally making a request for information. That is the most precise legal description for what is actually going on in that moment. Let's just quickly run through the process of elimination to be sure. It's not an offer because he's not committing to buy anything. It's definitely not an acceptance because the store hasn't actually made an offer to him yet. And it's not an invitation because he's the one asking, not inviting. So all that's left is a simple inquiry. So you might be thinking, okay, cool, but why does any of this matter? Well, because this one little principle organizes almost every single purchase you make. And once you get it, it completely flips the script on who you think holds the power in a store. And this is where it gets really interesting. You see, invitations to treat are everywhere. That price tag on a can of soup, that's not an offer. It's an invitation from the supermarket for you to make an offer. Same with the products you see on a website or the items on a restaurant menu. They are all just invitations to treat. So think about what that really means. When you take your items to the checkout counter, you are the one making the legal offer to buy them at the listed price. And the store then has the power to either accept or reject your offer. This is why a store can technically refuse to sell you something, even if it has a price on it. Until they take your money, there's no contract. Which of course brings us to a very modern puzzle. When an influencer posts a link in bio for a cool new product, what are they doing legally? Are they making you an offer? Or are they just giving you a 21st century invitation to treat? Something to think about the next time you're about to click buy.